Welcome to
I
Bonehead.
don't know what kind of envy that shall be.
Welcome to Bonehead. So, gentlemen,
Yes.
they're behind you.
Yes.
What are we here doing tonight?
Hold
This
on.
looks a little different.
Yeah.
If you're watching it on YouTube, Chad has
It
a
looks the same if you're listening to it.
phallic kind of thing in front of your face.
And then in front of that, though, is also this microphone.
It's a new blue mic. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is improve the experience for our audio folks,
Yeah.
not the ones who are watching on YouTube.
Yeah,
You-
all 5 of people who watch us on YouTube. Hi, how you doing?
You know, it's not too bad, depending on the episode. Do you all
That's
find it
I was gonna
odd?
say, no, that's true.
Certain
You know how
episodes
I
are
know?
huge are on YouTube, and certain
Yeah.
episodes are huge. Actually, we'll
And
do
you know
better
how I
on
know there's
SoundCloud
more
than
than
anything.
5?
Huh.
Because it's the Vincent Price episode.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, that's true, because 2 people hated you.
Yeah, they
I
hate.
said you, they just didn't like it.
No. I assume it's me because.
But we got our first 2 dislikes, which you
Yeah.
all pointed out.
Yay!
Yeah.
On the second one, we got our first criticism that we didn't have something in there. Did you read that? It was
Yes.
wasn't a criticism.
No,
but
and criticism is good.
criticism is good.
As an academic, criticism is good.
Oh my God, we're not even 5 minutes in, and he had to drop it. So criticism's good. We had our first 2 dislikes.
Yeah.
And James, you feel like you should fall on the sword for this.
It's
Why?
me. I feel it's me because y'all had done a couple episodes without me.
And
we
they're
had-
really successful.
And we
Yeah.
had never.
Did we tell you how big
never-
those are? Oh my
Huge,
God, for
I think.
Comic-Con, we ended up having 50 people in that room at least towards the end.
Well, and I
right,
was
Chad?
saying,
Yeah.
and then so we made. how
Chad
many-
never looked up. He was scared.
How many episodes have we done before the Vincent Price episode?
77. That was 78 and 79 are our 2 Vincent Price
Okay,
episodes.
so we had done 77 episodes
On YouTube.
on YouTube.
And
of
Murder
which-
Virgin, our short
Yep,
film Murder
yep,
Virgin. Check out
yep.
Murder Virgin on YouTube.
So we had done 77
Murder Virgin
episodes.
hashtag.
I was out for a while.
Yeah.
And you all
Because
did
you
shows.
decided, well, you moved to Mississippi in all defense
Well,
of us.
I got
You-
offered if we had sponsors and we could do this.
You know
as a
what made me
job,
feel less bad
Um,
about your decision? Have I ever told you this?
the fact that
That you left your family too. I was like, well, at least
Yeah.
I'm not in this alone.
Yeah.
Too soon?
no, it's truth will stand when the world falls. But no. So and I'd been gone for a while, and the likes just kept coming. I mean, there's not a huge amount of likes. Y'all could like a little more, just saying. But there was no hate, and then I come back. I do 2 episodes, and after
They
77
were James
episodes,
heavy episodes.
after 7 about a character actor who is an icon to me, and we get our first dislikes.
Honestly, and I put them together.
Should have
I put
talked
the
more
sh-
about Basil Rathbone.
I put the show together. I actually haven't listened to all both of them.
So it's
And I
me.
put it together.
It's me, and that's
And
it.
I was listening the other day at work, and I get distracted.
So,
No, I'm the downfall. I'm the downfall of Bonehead. I get it.
I don't think you're the downfall.
No,
we haven't
I'm,
really risen.
how
It's
about
more
we,
of a stumble.
how
I was
about
about
we
to say. So I
Chad
think
wants to get on to something
No, I'm just
else.
saying, let's turn this party from a pity party to a I got nothing.
I only get invited to pity parties.
Well, we're glad to have you back.
Well,
We missed you at
let's-
Bonehead Live, which was a huge success. Have I talked to you about how big that was?
you
You know
know,
what? We also lost
was
a
a-
YouTube subscriber, James. Do you think that was also you?
it's probably. I'll take the blame. I'm not
Okay.
everybody's I mean, there's a place where I'm loved and respected. It's just not here.
Or at your home.
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Did you set the timer?
No.
Oh, my God. Let's set that at about 26, 25 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right, so what is our topic this week? I'm actually kind of excited about this. Was this Chad's idea? Was this your idea?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Pretty much the majority of the episodes.
We actually, that's not true. I threw out.
Did you come up with
You don't-
Vincent Price?
has anybody-
Are you the reason for my
Actually,
downfall?
yes, I did come up with
Has
Vincent
anybody
Price.
booked any guests lately?
I've been.
There we go.
Hold on, is that a topic? That's a guest.
It's-
2 different things.
They come on and talk about shit. So we do have a couple of
I
guests
bring nothing
coming
to
on.
the table. That's what he's getting at. I
Actually, we
bring
have
nothing.
3. Did I tell you that the one messaged me back and we'll do next week?
The one.
No.
Jay Lee's going to be on our show. I screwed
He's
that
doing a
up.
movie
It's not
this
Jay
week.
Lee.
Next week
Is
he's
it?
available.
Who was the one? It's not
I
Jay
can't
Lee.
know.
Hold on, let's do a little tease. I just watched him on Justified.
Yeah. I have seen him in They Live.
Yep.
I have seen him in Prince of Darkness. I have seen him in Ghosts of Mars. I've seen him in Bobcat Goldthwait's film about the Woolly Booger. I forgot what the hell the things. Loch Ness. No.
Bigfoot.
There you go.
Something Creek.
Yeah, Woodford Creek.
That's not true.
Woodford. Woodford Creek. If you support us, we'll drink it. So what's our topic?
Sports movies.
So this was Chad's idea, and I thought, No, I'm joking. But you all started texting back and forth and talking about how excited was you were. There are so many good sports movies.
And this may shock you all, especially if you watch YouTube.
I just want a shout out to our friends out there who listen, who love sports. Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, this may shock you all. If you watch the YouTube, you look at us and you automatically assume these people had to be all-star athletes in high school.
Absolutely.
But
All-American.
Actually, none of us. None of us played high school athletics.
I don't think they call it that. I think they actually call it a baseball. Maybe the football.
We weren't known for these sports balls.
Dribbly ball. No. Those are the... We've been known for other balls.
A highlight of my sports career that I will tell people flat out, I played basketball for 3 years. I scored a grand total of 8 points.
Really? When did you play high school basketball?
No, I played in a basketball league youth basketball league.
At your church?
No, it was like through
No,
the
the
Ruritan.
YMCA.
It was through the Ruritan Club in Waddy.
The Ruritan?
Ruritan. I can't say that word.
Ruralton?
Rotary?
Ruitan.
Rootin'.
That sounds like rooting.
But yeah, so I played.
You know what? I wasn't rooting for you.
And 6 of those points was a team that only had 4 people. This is not.
It takes 5, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they played anyway. This is none. You can't make any of this up.
Oh my God!
But as we sat down to do this,
There are so many sports movies.
and one rule that
we've got some up here.
Yeah, and one rule that we had going into this is James cannot talk for an hour about Mighty Ducks 3.
Or Vincent Price. Sorry.
The greatest Vincent Price sports film is...
When I went to smile, I was a little more sore than I thought.
You know what that's called? Karma.
Yeah. It felt good.
That's called caramel.
It hurt so good. And that'll give you the diabetes.
That is. By the way, the best Vincent Price sports film.
Is there a Vincent Price sports movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called The Bat.
There's 3 people that are like, wait a second. And
They don't know what another bat is.
One of them is Agnes Moorehead.
Oh!
Speaking of dead people.
Yeah.
And I know we need to get on the sport.
We need to get on to this sport.
But the last of the Conjurers died.
I saw that.
Elizabeth Warren?
Elizabeth Warren. No, hold on. Elizabeth Warren is a senator.
See how far I could get before you realize.
It's Warren Moon.
What? Yeah, Warren
That's
Moon.
for you sports fans out there.
Warren Moon, who wrote the Conjuring.
What was her name, Warren?
It doesn't matter.
Old man, woman's dead man, Warren.
But no, she passed away. And
Yeah,
if
she
you're a
died
fan of
today.
the Conjuring films,
No, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, it's all made up.
And if you're a fan of the Amityville story, that's also all bullshit.
Once again, it would help us keep some paranormal fans.
I'm not running them off of Vincent Price.
Oy. So sports movies, gentlemen.
Yeah. Who wants to go first? Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to say this. My normal trope is to find obscure ones that I like.
No,
Yeah.
really.
I didn't do that this time. There's 2 that are like majorly popular just because they're 2 of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
So I could not and I'm hoping you 2 don't have them on your list.
I only have. I have a ton of honorable mentions, but I have 5 movies just in case because I feel like one of you sons of bitches is going to take one of my movies.
But so the conversation prior to recording is me and Joe both have a very obscure movie.
A very obscure movie.
And we are debating on whether or not we have the same obscure movie. I highly doubt it.
I think we do.
But we're about to see it. So
you want to go first? You can have it.
all right, I'll go first.
What is one of your favorite sports movies?
So this movie.
It's just going to sleep. Yeah, we have a laptop set up here.
Yeah, this is my,
fancy.
This is my football pick of my movies.
Oh, it's a football movie?
It's a football movie.
Shit, we're good.
So when you think of movies where a team who is
I can't believe you didn't get mine.
Nope. It's full of outcasts who are going to play a team that is infinitely better. What movie do you think of in terms of football?
There's 3.
I think of the movie with Sinbad.
There's 3.
Necessary Roughness.
saw that
Necessary
in the
Roughness, Leathernecks, or Leatherheads,
Leatherheads.
and
The Longest
The
Yard.
Replacements.
You're all
The
wrong.
Longest Yard.
Nope. I am talking about Pigs versus Freaks.
Listen,
What the hell
I
is
have
that?
told you for the last time, Chad, if you bring up my previous
You
dating
may have
experience,
accidentally
broke Joe's brain.
broke my. Well, no, that wasn't hard. But you may have accidentally found something more obscure than what I found.
I'm proud of this fact. So Pigs versus Freaks. It's actually a made-for-TV movie that came out in the early 80s. Listen to this cast. And I didn't remember half of these people were in this.
This is the best of times with Kurt Russell and
You'll
Robin
have
Williams.
to. A lot of people will have to look this guy up, the first guy up, because and as soon as you look him up, you go, oh, it's that guy, Eugene Roche. You look him up, you'll go, oh, that guy, Brian Dennehy,
oh, I like Brian Dennehy.
Adam Baldwin,
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Stephen First,
DC Cabs Adam Baldwin.
DC Cabs.
Some people say Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, and Dream Team, Stephen First, and a little-known
Dead.
actor known as Patrick Swayze.
You know who's crazy? Swayze.
Swayze.
And I'm Swayze crazy. Oh my goodness.
So I'm gonna get through the credit. I'm gonna get through the credits, and then I'll tell you what the actual plot of this movie is.
Yeah.
It was written by Gordon T. Dawson.
Oh my God! Of the Old Man Dawson clan.
He so he has a very unique career. He's mainly a writer. He wrote for such shows as Maverick, Rockford Files, Walker, Texas Ranger, and the wonderful Baywatch Nights. But he also, Joe, was the writer
Which
of
starred, by the way, a young Aquaman.
Jason. Yep.
Jason. Yes, keep on.
Yeah.
He was also the writer of who?
Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia.
I should know that. I've actually
should.
seen him interviewed before
Yeah.
talking about that.
He
He
also
told a story about St. Pat. Forget it.
No, sorry. He was also he had a career as a costume designer. He created the costumes for the Wild Bunch.
It makes sense because we'll do a Peck and Paw episode. Remind me to tell a story
And
about
I'm-
it.
Yeah, after we get on film, I need to tell you all something. Don't let me forget. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Joe,
Bring it up for our audience.
yeah, bring it up for the audience. Go, what the hell?
It will be for a later audience later.
Okay. So the director,
Yeah.
Joe, you may know this man, Dick Lowry.
Richard Lowry?
Yeah. Do you know the name?
It actually does sound familiar, but I don't know off the top
He
of my head.
well, his big movie was Smokey and the Bandit 3.
Now,
He also
do you know that didn't even premiere in the top 10?
Yeah, that doesn't.
It didn't
surprise me.
open in the top 10.
It's terrible.
It's-
It's the curse.
It's better than not being in the... you would not have convinced me that a movie called Smokey and the Bandit 3, no offense, would not have at least premiered in the top 10 that weekend.
Well, that's true. He also directed Project Alf.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, I've never seen all of it. I've only seen parts.
You know, honestly, I can't tell you that if I've seen it or not. I don't remember it.
There was something on in something with my family's divorce that caused me not to be able to watch it when it came out.
Wah, wah,
Wah,
wah.
wah.
But he
You know,
also,
my happily married family kept rolling. I got to watch it.
but he also directed all the Gambler movies. And
Okay.
then his career is a lot of TV movies and TV shows. I just wrote these down just because they're funny. Mr. Murder and Atomic Train.
That's not Runaway Train, right?
No.
Okay.
But no, so what is Pigs versus Freaks? So Freaks is, for some reason, the term used to refer to hippies.
Yeah.
So it is about a gang of hippies, not a gang of hippie, whatever you call it, a commune of hippies
Right.
going against the local law enforcement in a football game. And there's some conflicts with the quarterback for the Freaks went to Canada to escape Vietnam, and he's came back, and there's some clashing with the police, and for some reason the only way they can get this skirmish resolved is through a football game.
Okay.
And the whole movie is them practicing for this
And
football
this
game.
is one of your favorite sports films.
Okay, no, it's not one of my favorite sports films. But as soon as we said we were doing sports films, this is other than the two that I'm going to talk about that are two of my favorite movies of all time, including two sports movies. I was like, because I try to bring up an obscure one every time to make you guys' heads hurt, and I knew this one would do it.
Where did you see it?
So back in my childhood, where I didn't have cable or satellite, I had 3 channels. This was on at
Those starving kids in Africa feel so bad.
where I am a renowned non-sleeper. This was on at 2 a.m. in the morning when stations, instead of showing infomercials, they would show these really bad B movies.
Right.
And that's where I ran into Pigs versus Freaks. Again, this is one of these movies that I'm bringing up where you cannot find a copy of it.
Did you try on YouTube?
I tried real quickly, was not having a lot of luck, but I think there's stuff out there. But yeah, it was just a movie that, because I could talk about a more popular, like The Longest Yard or Necessary Roughness, but I wanted to bring up Pigs versus Freaks, just because of the title of the show.
Do the Freaks win?
The Freaks do not win.
What?
Because I'm going to give a spoiler, and if this is trying me to remember my 9-10-year-old brain, they lose the game on purpose because the person the quarterback who fled to Canada is about to be arrested, so they use their loss as a distraction so he can escape before he gets arrested.
I'll be dogged.
Sorry, I should have said spoiler.
You did.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying half the time.
I noticed.
You do.
This is the same guy that got done with doing our... Did I tell you about our popular live show, James, that we did at Lexington Comic-Con? Anyway.
I'm sorry, I did all the talking. I couldn't. I was focused on my...
I don't know. I want to know about that, Joe.
The Ghostbusters talked quite a bit.
Yes.
And then I made fun of folks.
I haven't.
That's what I do. I drink and make fun of folks. I'm like a shitty, tall Tyrion Lannister.
I wouldn't know about those things, Joe. I've never been involved in anything popular.
Oh!
So I kind of want to... James, is it all right if Joe goes? Cause
I want to know. That's
I
what I
want
was
to hear
gonna say. I want Joe to go.
this obscure one. Is it Children of Men? Or
No, mine is...
Oh my God! If he brings up that racing scene, that's not a racing scene, Joe. They're driving a car away from another car. It's not a racing scene.
I re-edit it, and all of a sudden you hear... That would be funny.
Oh
Why
my
don't
God!
we do that?
Could you freeze frame it and just find an old clip of Waylon Jennings narrating the Dukes of Hazzard? Reckon they're gonna have to jump.
I'm going to go really dark. Instead of a bullet, Julian Morgan's hit with a football.
But the blood still comes out.
All right.
Oh my God! Could we cut to a famous football player going, "Guess I threw that one too hard"?
I agree with Chad. I wanted to come up with something obscure because, as you all, if you listen to the show or watch the show, you know that I am a big supporter of Children of Men, and I'm not allowed to talk about it anymore.
I mean, evidently that's more okay than Vincent Price.
Evidently, you did go on.
Evidently,
If you look at parts of it, Chad and I are fighting sleep during the YouTubes.
That's fine.
All right.
I'll just be.
I had never even heard of this movie, even though it's directed by John Badham. And if you don't know who John Badham is...
So wait, you haven't even seen this movie?
I have seen it.
Okay.
I saw it about 4 weeks ago. I happened to catch it on free weekend stars, flipping through, seeing what I could DVR for later. Saw the long-ass title, and I thought, well, what the hell is this? And then I saw the cast, and I couldn't believe that I'd never seen it or even heard of it. And it's directed by John Badham, and John Badham gave us Saturday Night Fever, gave us that Dracula, that sexy Dracula, with Frank Langella.
Yeah.
He Short Circuit, Blue Thunder, The Hard Way. You guys ever see The Hard Way with Michael J. Fox?
I actually love The Hard Way.
I love that movie too, actually. And there's several other John Badham films, but this is called The Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings.
That is D. Williams.
I've never seen it. Never heard of it.
I love that movie.
I almost bought the poster off of it from our good friend Nick Brown.
Hey, Nick Brown. Nick Brown had the poster?
When Billy D. Williams appeared at Comic Con,
I don't remember seeing him.
And I had
I had to be with you.
I almost bought it just so I could walk up and have Billy D. Williams sign it because I knew I'd get a story.
God, I love that movie.
So you all are, I have never seen it. Billy D. Williams, James Earl Jones, Richard Pryor,
who has a really great role in that movie.
He does have a really great role in that movie. And on top of that, you know who's in it that you guys probably don't remember? Ken Faree. It's one of his first roles.
I forgot.
From Dawn of the Dead.
Is he playing one of the gangsters?
He's one of the two gangsters who are terrorizing him. So what it's about is that these guys play for, back in the day, they had, baseball was segregated. They had the white leagues and they had what they called the Negro leagues, right? And they decided that, and the owners in this particular movie, the owners of the Negro leagues are just as bad, if not worse, and they don't take care of them. One of their pals on the team gets hit in the head with a baseball, can't speak anymore, and Billy D says, I'm done, I'm not going to do this anymore, we're going to start our own team. Steals James Earl Jones away as well, who's also a popular baseball player, and they start their own league with all these people, and they go around barnstorming. Now, what barnstorming is they go town to town looking for baseball games and getting paid for them, right?
Right.
They come in and they do like a dance and have a parade and get everybody excited.
Basically,
and you got to remember, it's the 20s and the 30s.
Yeah,
There's nothing else going on.
This was the 1920s, 30s version of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Absolutely. So they go in and they play. I'd never seen this movie before, and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
God, I love that movie. I
All
really
right.
do.
It's based on a novel by William Brashler. I'd never heard of it.
Wow.
And you guys have seen it. You
Yeah,
just
I've
when
seen
you were
it.
kids?
I've seen it not when I was a kid. I saw it when I was a teenager, and I've seen it several times. I love that movie. Because one of the things me and James have me and him both love Billy D. Williams. So
Yeah. By the way,
We have all met Billy D.
new trailer came out, and I'll be honest, trailer was good. And then it got to that scene, and I immediately went, literally, if I gotta just made me
I
happy.
don't. That's
No.
a whole other episode, and I'll tell you why. It's a good trailer, but it looks
But
like Return of the Jedi.
oh yeah,
And the
Let's
last
face it,
JJ movie
yeah.
looked like A New Hope.
yeah, I know.
Only with a better trailer.
I have no. I honestly, I'm going to state it here. I have no faith in this new Star Wars trilogy.
I do. I enjoy it. I hope it's...
The only one I've liked so far is the one that everybody hates, apparently. So
I like both of them, but I
Yeah.
really like The Last Jedi, and everyone hates it.
yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say the Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. I did, I was trying to look up if it was success, but I couldn't really
I don't
find
believe it
anything on
was.
And no wonder, because of the title.
Yeah.
I've got a film that was, by the way, my first film that I'll do then. I'll do a success that nobody remembers.
What?
Go for it.
It is. Let me say the cast.
Okay.
I'm so glad, though, we
It's
didn't
gotta-
do each other's...
It's got to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
This has a character
And by the way,
actor.
I hate to say this. I don't really feel, and I'm not criticizing.
It was
I don't-
obscure to me.
Okay, it's obscure to you. I didn't feel like that was an obscure one because
It was obscure to me
I know a
because
lot
I
of
was
people-
not familiar with it at all.
God, I love that movie.
This film, the one that I'm going to do, I want to start by saying it features Howard Cosell,
Yeah, I still don't know what you're going to do with
Frank Gifford,
Ah!
it. Ugh.
and then let me get to the actor cast.
It's not the great.
Roscoe Lee Brown,
Ah!
Tim Conway,
Oh, yeah.
let's see,
I get Mahogany over Mahogany?
John Amos
John Amos.
of Good Times.
I know who John Amos is.
I-
He beat the shit out of Bruce Willis in Die Hard 2.
And
Yeah.
No, Bruce Willis beats the shit out of him. William Sadler beats
Yes.
the shit out of Bruce Willis.
Yes.
That's right.
and I'll just go and a very young Jan Michael Vincent.
Did he have always... I'm not
Do
gonna
you
make
have
that
a thing
joke.
for Jan Michael Vincent?
No, but this was a movie that I discovered going
Remind
back
me
to
to tell
my
you a
youth.
Jan Michael Vincent story about someone we know when the episode's over.
Okay, I'll tell you about the
Yeah.
story too. Hey,
it's not
again,
for the
listeners,
audience.
we need to have a Patreon. This is why we need to have a Patreon.
Yeah.
You could hear the behind the
You
scenes
could hear
conversation.
it. Yeah.
But,
I'll tell you that in like a Kuna Matata
so-
story.
So this, the movie I'm talking about,
Yes.
being much like Chad, I had 3 channels when they rotated, and I mentioned that's how I saw Blackbeard's Ghost. That's how I saw Tron. And this
Oh,
was the
you have
third.
a beautiful poster for Blackbeard's Ghost. You
yes.
must have a loving friend.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to him. Anyway,
He was in your basement looking at that Blackbeard's Ghost thing about 3 weeks ago, feeding your effing cat.
oh, Lily. Anyway, this was the third movie that rotated. I referred to, if we're going to talk about great athletics film, we got to bring up The World's Greatest Athlete.
I've never heard of this.
You've never heard of The World's Greatest Athlete? Okay, The World's Greatest Athlete.
I thought you were going to talk about the greatest with Muhammad Ali, where he played himself.
1973, released on Valentine's Day 1973. It is a Disney film where they are coaches for Maryville College, Tim Conway is the assistant coach, and John Amos is the coach of the track and field team, and turns out they're not doing so goodly. Goodly. No, they're not doing goodly at all. And the Roscoe Lee Brown is an African, and they basically somehow they're doing a safari because the season's going by. It doesn't make any sense how they do it. But while they're there, they see Jan Michael Vincent, who is Nanu, and they realize there is a
Is it Nanu?
no, Nanu. It's Nanu. Wait.
Oh my God!
It doesn't matter.
You're VPing
Name it.
this up.
So
What I'm getting to is
Sorry.
he outruns a cheetah.
Okay.
And they realize, oh crap, we need him. Well, they try to recruit him, and Roscoe Lee Brown plays his adoptive father. He was orphaned in the jungle. It's kind of like Tarzan, and they say, no. If you take him, he's never known competition. He's never known anything.
is this a Disney movie?
Yes.
Oh.
And they get him to come back.
How
And
did,
they
I,
should do
how
that.
did I know this was a
Why
Disney
do you
movie?
hate the House of Mouse?
I hate the House of Mouse in the 70s when they did all the live action 60s and 70s.
True story.
comes
Every single
to-
one of those is terrible.
It comes to a climactic, of course, race.
Well, some of them have good spots in them.
And then they basically
the
do.
Cat from Outer Space.
I actually like that one.
I know you
My
do.
mom was fond of, but it's not. It's no that darn cat.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, there's
Oh,
the cat, no. Those are actually two totally
Yeah.
different movies.
Uh,
that
yeah,
darn
the Cat
cat
from
has
Outer
Haley Mills in it.
Yeah.
No, that darn cat's not bad. It has Frank Gorshin.
Okay. Frank Gorshin sells everything.
It's actually probably one of their better ones. That's the
Okay.
reason why it was remade later into a terrible film with Christina Ricci.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. I'm gonna get into no.
Anyway.
This will be a whole another episode where I
I
have to
can
argue about the
defi-
fact
I
that the
can-
Shaggy dog is a piece of crap.
No, I can defend one. I can't defend.
Anyway, James, sorry.
So anyway, no, they end up
So
doing,
Jane Michael Vincent was an African who could outrun a cheetah.
he was orphaned in Africa. You never find out what happens. He's adopted by an African tribe, and he outruns the cheetah.
Does he,
hell
does he speak English right off the bat?
Well, so does the tribe. You know,
No,
Africa,
he comes out and he says, "Tay, Tay, Tay in the
You know,
wind."
Africa has been exposed to English for years. It was called colonialism. You inbred hick. Anyway,
The
that,
Queens, Chad, the Queens.
now that being said, what's interesting about this is that it was actually a huge success at the time. It came out in '73.
Yeah.
It only cost about $5 million to make, and it made $22 million at the box office, which doesn't sound a lot for today.
No, it's a huge amount.
It was a
and
huge-
It was a
Disney.
huge time,
It's a Disney
and so
movie.
Disney actually did a. I mean, it was a big deal, and they talked about it. It ends setting up a sequel that never happened. They take him back home because they realize they don't want to corrupt him, et cetera, and they're like, we're never going to find anybody else, and they're going home by way of China, and they see a guy that can throw something 400 miles or something, and then it ends with them going, and then it freeze frames, and that's the end of it. But I wanted to bring that up because it was a huge athletic film at the time that was open to all families and all of that stuff, and it's largely forgotten today. But I
Are we
just
moving
remember
on
it
from
was
this
like
one?
Tron, like Blackbeard's Ghost. It just cycled on Fox affiliates back in the day as a film they had to pay $2 to get the rights
I've
to.
never seen Blackbeard's Ghost,
Neither have I.
and Tron sucks.
And maybe-
You know what? Tron Legacy is
Hold
better
on.
than Tron.
Hold on, let me do this. I'm sure you've made a film that more people seen than Tron.
Murder Virgin.
Sure, I'm sure. Is there
If
is there a Murder Virgin Legacy coming
They
out?
no, well they use it in hell to torture.
Our receipts in hell are through the
Our
roof.
receipts in hell are through the roof. This Satan goes, look at this composition in this shot. There is no composition in this shot. All right,
Let's play Boom Mic.
Let's take a quick break. We're right back. Sorry.
We're back.
We're right back. I just wanted to restart the video really quick. Now, where did my piece of paper go?
Right here.
Oh, thank you.
I shall not look.
Who's next?
Okay, I'll go because I want this one. So this is probably one of my. It's not one of my favorite movies, but I love this movie more a whole lot. I'm of course talking, and I'm just gonna. It's Major League.
Yeah,
We're good.
I love Major League.
You're not taking that from me.
So Major League stars Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, James Gammon, one of the best character actors of all time that we didn't bring up.
Oh, he's the manager.
Yeah, he's the manager.
Right, he is a great character.
Attack! That's my James Gammon.
Thank you for clearing that the fuck
I
up.
thought he was having an actual heart attack. Notice if he was, neither one of us jumped into action.
Well, I got this thing with the teeth and the dentist.
And I just don't care anymore after the Vincent Price episode.
Oh my god.
No,
Leave it alone. We laid a turkey. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Corbin Burnson, Wesley Snipes, and Dennis Haysbert.
How did they get Dennis Haysbert? He was busy with Allstate.
Ah,
He's the Allstate
the
guy.
yeah. So it was
Crickets from the audience.
it was written and directed by David S. Ward.
What did David S. Ward go on to do?
He wrote The Sting, Sleepless in Seattle, and King Ralph.
The King
Hold on.
Ralph?
He wrote The Sting.
The Sting
One
and
of
The
my
Sting.
all-time favorite films.
Did he do this? I think he did The Sting too as well.
I hope he didn't, but
No, I'm pretty sure he did.
I'm
No,
pretty
hold
sure
on.
he did.
Which is fine. That's cash no check. Sleepless in Seattle, which I actually will defend one of the great romantic comedies.
Yep.
I
You can't
It's-
argue that.
It's no Harold and Maude, but it gets better.
And then King. Oh, I love Harold and Maude, by the way.
I do too.
And King Ralph.
And then King Ralph.
And he also directed King Ralph. You know what else he directed?
What?
Down Periscope.
I actually really like Down
Down-
Periscope. That's my favorite Kelsey Grammer film. Hold a Tick. No, there are a few more, but that's my
I was
favorite.
going to say
Kelsey-
X-Men Last Stand.
Yeah, I prefer Down Periscope.
Yeah, Down Periscope's really good. It's,
Well, I'm really good.
it's really good.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
So, the
There you go.
Yeah, no, the Major League. Everybody knows Major League. If you haven't seen it, you should go
Eat a
watch it.
bullet.
It's
See, I hadn't done that in 70 episodes.
no, and
70?
yeah, I was gonna
Probably
say
about 60 some.
Yeah.
I got complaints.
yeah, and yet here you are doing it again,
I know.
He
There
ran
we
it
are,
back.
going back to Vincent Price in the Well.
Oh, God.
going back to I don't give a damn town.
Population us.
Gonna park my bike. We all know that's not true.
But no, so it's about the Cleveland Indians who actually, and this is kind of where it's based in reality. They were one of the worst teams in baseball.
absolutely.
So, and the fun fact about this movie is the reason David S. Ward wrote and directed this movie is he said he wanted to make this movie because he thought it was the only way the world would ever see Cleveland win. By the way, they have gone on to win at least two.
Well,
I almost said two Super Bowls.
And that was that was
Two World Series.
There's somebody who's a big sports teams fan go, Super Bowl. Super Bowls. Well, I ain't listening to it. Well, I'll listen 5 more minutes.
And they may not
You're
have won.
assuming, you're assuming they're still listening now. It's okay.
I'll give them pasty sons of bitches 5 more minutes.
It's okay. You don't have to watch it. Just play it and leave it on for the cats. We need the count.
Oh, that's absolutely true.
Yeah. But
But that was a big deal because they got the right to actually use a actual major league team.
yeah.
Yes, they did.
That was, I mean, at
Oh,
the
were
time.
you trying to say Major League again?
No, I wasn't. But
But you did.
I did because I was referring. I could have said if I would have said they just got to use a team name. There's tons of team names. There was them banana slugs.
Did you say something that was frickin' English in that?
I said banana slugs.
Well, I did understand that.
Now there you go. Then
That's a California team.
it sure is.
And we didn't fight the Battle of the Alamo for me to be able to sit here and have to drink California wine.
So Major League,
Which is something I heard in Texas.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas.
not
Which you shouldn't mess with. Just as a whole state.
Right outside of Texas.
not Austin, France.
No, I've never been to France.
I believe that's pronounced.
But I've never been to
nasty.
Spain. But I kind of like the music. Anybody out there? There's one person who's a Three Dog Night fan that just screamed.
Hey.
It was one of the members of Three
Three
Dog
Dog
Night.
Night. But no,
In which case, we love you.
And please come on the show and tell us about who Jeremiah really was.
Yeah. I hear he was a bullfrog.
but no. So Major League is just basically the underdog story. That's pretty much a generic, sports trope in every movie you see. They're the underdog and they're never going to win, and then suddenly they start winning. But honestly, it is a what's the word I'm looking for? I blanked out. Where a bunch of people come together and do a movie.
Ensemble?
Ensemble cast just working well together at every single frame.
And Wesley Snipes did not do the sequel.
No, Omar Epps. He was replaced by Omar Epps. By the way, David S. Ward did do all the Major League movies.
He even back in training.
Yeah,
or whatever-
back to the minors.
Back to the Minors was Scott Bakula,
Bakula. But yeah,
who's in Necessary Roughness. You're welcome.
yeah. The only other thing I'll say about this, another piece of trivia, is it also stars the amazing Bob Uecker.
Yeah, Bob Uecker is probably one of the funniest parts.
Yeah, but when David S. Ward cast him, he cast him for the fact that he was in Mr. Belvedere. He liked his character in Mr. Belvedere, so he thought he would be great in this. He at no point in time knew that Bob Uecker had been a commentator for the Milwaukee Brewers for the past decade. He didn't know about that till after Bob Uecker signed on.
Do you know Mick Garris had no idea that What's-His-Face was in Wings?
Steven Weber?
Steven Weber when he
No, I
cast
did
him
not
in The
know.
Shining. Never seen one episode of Wings. If he had, he wouldn't have cast him.
Oh,
Because
nice.
he would never have gotten past him being a comedic actor.
Wow. No, I didn't know that. Sports movies.
Yeah.
So Major League is my second pick.
All right, I'm going to skip my second pick and go to my third pick because I don't think either one of you have it, and we're talking about romantic comedies, and it's a sports movie and it's a romantic comedy. And it's directed by Ron Shelton.
Oh, not what I thought you were going to do.
me if this is in Every Which Way But Loose.
No, it's not.
I really thought he was going somewhere else.
No, it's directed by Ron Shelton. There's several on here. It's directed by Ron Shelton. He also directed probably, I think, one of James's movie about one of James's favorite baseball people of all time, Cobb.
Actually,
Oh, man.
I almost brought up Cobb for this episode. Almost. It was on my list. and I
Again,
didn't.
James.
He also directed White Men Can't Jump.
Okay.
But I'm going to talk about Tin Cup.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tin Cup is actually one of my favorite. It's not don't get me wrong. I like. By the way, he
Bagger
also
Vance.
directed Bull Durham. I forgot. He also directed Bull Durham
Yeah.
with also Kevin Costner. One of my favorite Kevin Costner films is Tin Cup, and I like it 10, 20 years ago, and I think I'd like it even more now because it's about middle-aged love. It's something that you don't normally see in a movie, and it worked. And it's got a great cast. We're talking about Cheech,
Yes, Cheech Marin.
right? Don Johnson. That's where Don Johnson and Cheech met, and Don Johnson actually got along with him so well that the original character description for Nash Bridges was not for Cheech. It was for I think an Irish guy.
Really?
And he said, no, let's get him.
See, I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I love Nash Bridges.
Don Johnson, Renee Russo, who is a woman, and Kevin Costner plays, I have to look at the notes, Roy McAvoy. He's a washed-up golf pro who meets this woman, Renee Russo, and fights for her affection,
Right.
along with Don Johnson also fighting for her affection. And it's just a beautiful, funny, well-made film that I love because I think, not because it's about golf, but because it's about middle-aged love.
Yeah.
And it's just something I don't think you normally see.
And
Not in that kind of.
So-
I mean,
so-
it's not because there's like Sleepless in Seattle. He's got a kid and all these things. No, Kevin Costner is a bastard,
yeah.
right? Renee Russo is smart and doesn't want to put up with him being a bastard. It's just go ahead.
Is it like Wimbledon?
I have seen Wimbledon, and no, it's nothing like
No,
that.
no. But Wimbledon, Wimbledon was not on my list, but we haven't brought up a tennis film. But
Although he did marry one of my childhood crushes,
Wimbledon,
the star of Wimbledon.
Oh, Jennifer Connelly. Okay.
yeah. But Wimbledon he's
Jennifer Connelly.
he's aging out,
Career opportunities.
and Kirsten Dunst.
She's the best part. What a shitty movie. John Candy's got a cameo on the first of that.
I don't remember that.
He is. He's
he
the
the
guy that
manager?
he's the manager that hires him. He's not even in the credits.
I didn't know that.
Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, Wimbledon is Paul Bettany and Kirsten Dunst, right?
Yeah, we get on with your Wimbledon story. We're talking about Tin Cup, a superior
Well, no.
film directed by Ron
But
Shelton.
I was just saying,
Not to be confused
He's
with Kevin
aging
Shelton.
out, and Kirsten Dunst is the new young talent, and it's not the same, but it has to deal with that idea of aging out, and it's also relevant because
No, he's kind of already aged out. I don't know
Yeah.
if I agree with you because Kevin Costner's already washed up. In fact, he kind of finds his mojo and tries to get into the what's it called?
U.S. Open.
The U.S. Open.
Yeah, and spoilers. It's one of the best scenes in sports history, in my opinion, is when he has a spoiler. By the way,
You said spoiler 4 times.
It's
I can't
23
help it.
years old.
yeah, but
Are you
his
gonna-
complete mental breakdown.
A complete mental breakdown. And one of the other great scenes is him trying where he could just lay up at the end
Yeah,
and have a chance to win, and he goes for it, and it takes him 18. I don't remember how
yeah.
many times. It takes
That's what I'm
18
talking
times.
about. And he just
And-
has a meltdown.
And finally, he nails it, and that's his personality, and he lets himself. And that's one of the reasons she falls in love with him because
Yeah.
he just went for it.
Yeah.
Right? He just blew everything off and went for it. And everybody, she has a great line of, "What are you talking about? No one's going to remember who won this. They're going to remember you. You hit it." Mm-hmm. I like I said, the guy directed. Here's other Ron Shelton films. Have you ever seen Dark Blue? One of Kurt Russell's best performances.
Oh yeah.
That's directed by Ron Shelton as well. Mm-hmm.
So if you're watching this Ron
Bull
Shelton,
Durham is an amazing movie, and I love Bull Durham, but I had to talk about Tin Cup because which is also about somewhat middle-aged love and the younger person and whatever. I'm done.
Is it my second one?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to talk about my all-time favorite college football film. It was nominated in consideration for AFI's top 10 sports films. It was listed as one of AFI's top 100 comedies, ranking number 65 in 2000. In 2005,
Caddyshack.
it ranked as one of the best movie quotes
There's
of
a
all
difference.
time, according to the American Film Institute. And I refer to what has to be one of the greatest films. Literally, AFI is right. That's Horse Feathers.
Oh my God, you're right.
Horse Feathers, if you've never seen it, it's the Marx Brothers.
Oh.
And I love the movie, but what the movie is about, and the reason I use it as a time capsule when I teach. IRA history.
It's not always people's. It may very well. It's probably one of my top 2 favorite Marx, if not my favorite Marx Brothers.
But what the film is about is Huxley College. Groucho Marx plays the president.
It's still accurate.
He realizes that there is a exchange in the film where one of the professors says we can either keep our athletic program going or we can keep our college going, but we can't do both. And I'm paraphrasing the line here, but Groucho Marx says we better start tearing down the college. And the faculty member says, where will the students sleep then? They can sleep in the classroom. That's where they've been sleeping anyway.
I love that
And
movie.
so but it was on the cover of Time magazine when it came out. It
I
was
didn't know
a
that.
big deal. It was one of the first quote unquote original films. Most of their other films had been adapted from their vaudeville acts.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that I knew that.
And this one was made just for this. It came out on August 10th, 1932. And there's missing scenes because the original ending of the film, you can find photos from where they photoed it, but they photographed
Voted it.
Voted it.
Voted it.
Photies.
He
Hand 'em out.
produced Murder Virgin. Satan says.
Anyway, they did the film, and originally the film, and I said you can find still shots of it. The college is supposed to be burning down in the background at the end of the game, and so you can find footage of them sitting in lawn chairs watching the campus set burn. But it didn't make it in the final film. But Huxley College needs football players, and this is pre NCAA, pre anything else, and
Mars needs Mars.
it's kind of how it actually used to
Never
be.
seen
There's no regulations, there's no NCAA. They go down, they go to a speakeasy, and they go originally to recruit brutes effectively, and they accidentally get Harpo and Chico.
Right.
And that's the film. But again, so much of the culture of college life at the time, the idea of a college widow, which is not an actual widow, it's a girl that stays in college just till she can marry. That's referenced in it.
Only in our day it was called looking for your MRS degree.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't Moorhead.
Oh yeah, no, that term's been used, but yeah, and there's songs in it. There's a ton of other things, but I mean the idea of students being there just to play football, and we think about that now today, but literally before the NCAA, before there was any regulation, it was very much an actual thing that you would sign them on to play football, and then you would literally put them in a class.
Well, and Leatherheads talks about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no one played. It was all about college ball, right?
Yeah.
Professional ball was a joke.
Yeah.
Well, and you got to think about the time period too, and kind of like you talked about with the Billy D. Williams movie. This was a time of the Great Depression and stuff. We were getting out of it, but you couldn't go just to a random movie. You couldn't. You
No.
had movie theaters, but you didn't have. So, high school athletics, college athletics, that was entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Anything
had
to get
people-
your mind off of.
Yeah. So but yeah,
I'm gonna say
horse.
something stupid.
The horse feathers.
So you're just talking then.
No.
Yeah.
And there's tons of references to Prohibition as well.
Right.
But yeah, they do all sorts of things. And
Do they? They
one of-
do
no,
all
no,
sorts
one-
of things.
One of the things
It's
that
those
they do,
types of Vince Price. I'm so sorry.
one of the things they actually do in the film used to be an actual trick they would pull on the thing, which was called the hidden ball trick. And it literally would be you would hide the ball in your jersey. And now, of course, that's not permitted. But you would all have a bunch of people cram other stuff under their jersey, and they didn't know who to tackle. And that was an actual play before regulations.
Huh.
And so they make fun of that. And again, if you watch it now, you don't get the joke that was actually a common play. And as I heard a historian say, you could really only run it once because they figured out, oh, wait, that guy runs most. We'll just tackle him. But you had one play, and it was successful a lot of the time. Another thing that a lot of, and again, not in the film, but they used to also, they would stitch brown fabric onto their football uniforms right about mid-chest level to where you could do this.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't tell who actually had the ball. And so it gets to this idea of what football, especially college football, used to be like. And it's a funny film. It is over 80 years old. And it
holds up.
Funny.
It holds up.
Yeah.
It holds up.
The wordplay is still good, all of that stuff. So yes, I couldn't talk about sports films.
We'll eventually do a Marx Brothers episode.
I won't talk during it.
Well, I
We need
was just sitting here going, is it that or A Day at the Races? I'm actually arguing about myself, my favorite one.
Both. I can't. I mean, it depends on what mood I'm in.
Yep.
So I go.
Oh yeah.
All right. So this is my.
We got time.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
time.
okay.
Especially for me.
What do you mean, especially for you?
I talk fast.
Oh, I thought you meant you got special something.
No. This special nothing.
That's not true.
I can't even eat
You
special.
are
I
our
can't
Special
even.
K.
I was gonna say I can't even eat Special K. I feel guilty.
That's because you poop.
So this is probably my favorite sports movie of all time. Period.
Okay.
As soon as I say the director, you're gonna go, oh, George Roy Hill.
Son of a bitch. I gave it to you, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I'm talking
Because
about.
look at what number 2 was.
Oh, really? I'm talking about Slapshot.
That Slapshot was on my list, and I cut it. So
Yeah.
I didn't cut it. I just skipped it because I thought,
Me and Joe talk about Slapshot. But I love Slapshot. It's my favorite, one of my favorite sports movies. It is my favorite sports movie of all time, and it may be in my top 20 of favorite movies of all time.
It has Strother Martin.
Yes.
And not a Western.
Yes, Strother Martin. The two big names, Paul Newman and Strother Martin. And I love Paul Newman, but I recently found out a fact about Paul Newman that is traumatizing me every time I see him on screen.
What?
He had a three-way with Eartha Kitt and Marlon Brando.
Is that true?
That is true.
How do you know?
It was there was an article on it, and supposedly it was substantiated.
by the way, just FYI. I mean,
so Eartha Kitt was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Earth
Santa
Kit was
Baby.
sick.
Yeah. So yeah, just every time
Catwoman.
every time I see Paul Newman, I'm just like,
Yzma from.
Is it the Eartha Kitt part that's bothering you?
no, it's everything's wrong with both.
And Marlon Brando was a good-looking man when he was younger.
In between movies, he gained a lot of weight. So he might not have been at that time. I'm just saying. Anyway, Slapshot, directed by George Roy Hill from The Sting, Butch Cassidy, Slaughterhouse 5.
Funny Farm.
Damn it! That was leading up to Funny Farm, Joe. You dick.
I'll give one more reference to the movie because you stole it, but I'll let you have it and it's fine. Get done and then I will do my one reference.
Okay, The World According to Garp, and of course Funny Farm. It was
of course
Funny Farm. It was written by Nancy Dowd. By the way, did you know anything about Nancy Dowd?
No, but I didn't know it was. You know what? That movie's filthy.
Yeah.
Even 40 years later,
So here's a fun story about the filthiness.
it's still pretty filthy.
In 1977, when that movie was released, it was so filthy by their standards that they ended up giving it a R rating, barely, but they had to put the caveat about this may not be suitable for younger audiences, which, by the way, that is current terminology used in all movies.
Oh, so it's like the Indiana Jones PG-13.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So Nancy Dowd also wrote North Dallas 40, another filthy
movie.
football movie, which is an amazing one, which didn't make my list.
That's a good one. Yeah.
She wrote Ordinary People. Now here's why I want to talk about.
I've seen all three of them.
Yeah. Here's one. The reason I want to talk about her. She actually wrote two other movies called. She wrote about 13, 14 movies. By the way, I didn't mention that she wrote all the sequels to Slapshot with Stephen Baldwin as well.
She wrote those?
She wrote those.
That's awesome.
But she also wrote a movie called Swing Shift and Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains.
I've never heard of that one. I know Swing Shifts with Goldie Hawn.
Yes, but
and Kurt Russell, right?
She wrote those under a male pseudonym as Rob Martin.
Why?
I was trying to do research on why she did that, but I couldn't find anything.
Oh, it's okay.
But it was just fascinating that she chose to write those under a male pseudonym. So what is Slapshot if you haven't heard about it? So Slapshot is a movie about a minor leagues hockey team who is down on their luck. They're located out of a industrial city, a small industrial city in Canada or New York, Upper New York.
I think it's Upper New York.
I think it's Upper New York,
and it's a made up name. But
yeah,
the team's name is the Chiefs. If you don't remember.
They're the name of the Chiefs. They're down on their luck. They're getting ready to go out of business because they're just not bringing in the audience. And then Paul Newman stumbles upon a way of drawing an audience by just becoming a goon squad,
basically.
And
later on there would be a movie with Sean William Scott called
The Goon.
Yeah,
which I love as well. I know you're not as necessarily a big fan.
I like Sean William Scott.
Yeah, it makes me laugh. And Goon, the why do I keep pointing at the camera?
Because they're out there watching us in La La Land.
Yeah, but the Goon,
that's not a real place.
Goon, the Last of the Enforcer, is also, which by the way is the villain is the son of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wyatt?
I think that's his name. The guy from Overlord.
I haven't seen Overlord yet.
God, it's so good.
Oh, shut up. That's what I should have. I was trying to remember what I wanted to get on. I didn't get time to do it anyway. I just got to watch the crappy Pet Sematary review. Anyway, go ahead.
Joe's grumbling. But no, so
it's okay. It's mediocre.
Slapshot is a funny movie from beginning to end, and it is just filthy.
It is still. It's still pretty.
It's
filthy.
Filthy by today's
I want to
standards.
start doing some lines from it, but one of my favorite ones. I don't know that I know we've been a little harder since. Let me rephrase this. Our rating has probably gone up a little bit since Haley doesn't produce and direct the show as much anymore, but
we don't take the time to put in those boop boops.
No, and there's certain I don't have time. There's certain phrases I can't say in that movie that I wouldn't say on the show.
Yeah, no. If you
a lot of them come from Paul Newman.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a wonderful film. If you haven't seen it, check out. I'm gonna start pointing at the mic. Check out Slapshot.
Check it out. It has one of my favorite 70s songs in it, and it plays 15 times through the movie. Love can be good, love can be strong. We gotta get it right back to where we started from. It plays 5 times throughout the movie.
George Roy Hill, if anything, his movies are known for their soundtracks.
Needle Drop. That's called Needle Drop. If the music wasn't made particularly for a movie, and you're like, oh my God, there's a song in it, and that's called Needle Drop.
I did not know that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. John Landis taught me. Not personally.
Did John Landis do a sports movie?
Not to my knowledge.
Then why are we bringing him up?
Because he taught me Needle Drop. Whose turn is it? Do I have time?
No.
Okay. So, I've got several different ones I could talk about.
He never pushes my buttons. Oh, yes, he does.
I've been pushing your button for 20 years. Oh, man. I'm going between 2, but one of them is a classic. And I thought one of you all would talk about it.
Well, I'm going to talk about a classic. I got several of those, so if you take it, I'll move on.
Well, I figure we try to keep it at 3 and maybe do a couple of honorable mentions, right?
Yeah.
So, mine is going to be The Hustler.
Yeah.
Okay.
They made a sequel. It's funny because you took one Paul Newman film, I'll take the other one. They made a sequel that was directed by Martin Scorsese in the 80s with him and Tom Cruise called The Color of Money, which is also another brilliant film. But The Hustler is a black and white film directed by Robert Rosen. He actually wrote a lot of different movies. The other one he directed was, it's about Kingfish. What's that guy's name?
Huey P. Long.
Huey P. Long story. He wrote a lot of the films, a lot more than he actually directed, but it stars Piper Laurie, Jackie Gleason, George C. Scott, and Murray Hamilton. And if you're thinking, well, who the hell is Murray Hamilton? The mayor from Jaws.
He didn't do no damn things right.
No. And guess what? Vote, because the mayor in Jaws, like that meme says, was reelected because he's right there in Jaws too.
Yeah.
Who did not vote? Local politics are important.
Yeah, Kentucky.
Hold on, wait 1 second. You know why he didn't get voted out? The people that were against him mysteriously got ate by a shark.
Murray Hamilton, folks. Murray Hamilton. He's also on The Graduate. Anyway, moving right along. So he plays Fast Eddie Felson, and Fast Eddie is kind of a ne'er-do-well, only he's really good at pool. And it's about a guy named George C. Well, it's about him, and George C. Scott plays a character who's trying
You play
to...
an Indian?
No, he does not play
Not to be
Indian.
confused with Randolph Scott.
One of the worst casting decisions of all time.
Did he fight the devil?
That's actually a good casting decision. Is that role?
What's
That's actually the same role that, that's the same character Lee J. Cobb plays in The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know if you knew that or not. Anyway, whoo! Can we get back to the Hustler? It's about pool. He's a hustler. George C. Scott plays him, and he's kind of his pimp in a certain way. He's taking him different places, getting money out of him. But he wants to beat Fats. And who plays Fats?
Art Carney?
No, but you're close. If I could have thought of the woman's name from the show,
I was trying to think of it. That's why
I just snorted and it hurt.
By the way, what Joe didn't say at the beginning of this episode is he's doing this episode after having dental surgery.
Well, I had root canal yesterday.
Yeah, so if you feel like watching this is like pulling teeth, he knows what
I had an
like.
aponectomy, and what it is they cut your gum and they go in and drill in sideways to the tooth to remove the roots and jerk them out and fill it all back in.
With Play-Doh.
I have no idea. Anyway, moving right along, he said the 14th time back to the Hustler. He finally gets to play him, and guess what? Fats, Jackie Gleason, mops the floor with him.
big
We
time.
get some more. His girlfriend eventually commits suicide, right?
Yeah,
Right?
because of George C. Scott.
Because of George C. Scott. I think he rapes her. Is that part of it? It's kind of mentioned, but it's not played out. Remember, this came out in 59 or 60. Right before or right after HUD. I can't remember. HUD actually is my favorite Paul Newman film. If you've never seen HUD, go out and watch it right now. But that's not a sports film. Anyway, Paul Newman plays a son bitch in that. One of the greatest sons bitches of all time in film history. You guys ever seen HUD?
No.
I haven't.
Sports movies.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking how good HUD was. I like The Hustler, but HUD's even better. Anyway, though, so he goes back, and guess what? He goes back and beats Jackie Gleason. He can't beat him. And then they basically threaten his life and ruin his career there, and that's how the movie ends, and it's very depressing. Which is how 20, 30 years later we pick back up with him in The Color of Money. That's the story.
And then what was part 3? What was that called? Where he's like in a nursing home. Isn't that the same character from The Hustler and The Color of Money? And he robs a bank with the girl.
What are you talking about?
I'll have to look it up. Continue. I'll look that up while Joe... Hold on.
That's not a movie.
Yes, it is.
If it is, I need to watch it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody's Fool.
No,
Let me think of the greatest Paul Newman performances.
Nobody's Fool, bar none.
No, HUD and Nobody's Fool. You really should watch HUD.
Okay.
I like the scene.
Yeah, but I don't know that I'll... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he owns Nobody's Fool. He owns HUD. Well, God, I don't know. There's 3 great actors in
I
HUD.
can't believe we're just so rambling about...
I can't help it! I can't believe you people haven't seen HUD. All right, go ahead.
I know about the housing.
Do you
Where
have a
the
third
Money
movie?
Is.
I do.
That's the movie.
Never heard of it.
He plays, he plays Henry.
That is not Fast Eddie.
No, never mind. I'm
All
sorry.
right, so my
Yes,
third movie.
get on.
My
third
You're
movie
sitting here
again.
Googling the Googles.
Again, no, I'm not doing the Google.
I'm talking to Chad.
My third
can't see you
movie,
for this
okay,
big black
is about this guy, right? And he goes to college, right? And he wants to be involved in the football team, but
Yeah.
he just ends up the water boy.
What's it called?
It's called The Freshman.
The Freshman has got Marlon Brando.
No, The
in it
Freshman
and
is a
Matthew Broderick.
1925
Oh, me geared.
Harold Lloyd film that is considered.
Oh, no, Chad. Tell us about the... Oh, you thought you'd outscare the James Thomas this week.
Harold.
I know who Harold Lloyd is.
It's the 65th best sports film or best
Have
comedy
you
film
seen
of
it?
all time.
Have you actually seen it?
Yes, I have been going back and watching silent film because I loved Stan and Ollie, and I've been going back and watching silent films. So yes,
Harold Lloyd is actually one of Mel Brooks' favorite Meaning-
Harold Lloyd is forgotten largely now, except for in the role of Zoidberg's uncle in Futurama.
Yeah, that's you're
It's
absolutely right.
Harold. It's a parody of Harold Lloyd.
You're absolutely
It's in
right.
an episode. Harold Lloyd plays a freshman that goes to college, and he wants to be involved with the football team. It's a silent film, and that's his dream. And this is, if you've seen the Adam Sandler Waterboy film, even though it gives no credit, it's kind of similar. What they basically pick on him, and they do it as a joke to let him in, and he accidentally tears up the tackling dummy, and they can't afford a new tackling dummy, so they start to use him as a tackling dummy, telling him he's now on the team.
Well, now I kind of want to watch
And then
it.
they just
Do you
keep,
have a copy?
no, I got it from the library, and they just keep tackling him. So the coach is unimpressed with him, but they can't afford a new tackling dummy, so they just keep using his character. And they basically also con him into hosting the dance for the school.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't afford a suit, so he's using one that's held
You
together
can't
by...
afford a suit. Well, that's no way to go to a dance.
It's held together by tacking strips, like they use when they make a soup.
Well, that'll never last.
And he ends up getting in a fight, and then somebody finally tells him the truth of how he got, that he's not really part of the team. And then at the big game, he still shows up, and he's basically the water boy. But they have so many injuries, they're getting killed by the champions, and blah, blah, blah. And at the end, he comes out, and he says, well, I'll go in. And the coach has no more players. They're all sidelined, injured. And he goes, fine, go in. And, of course, he ends up turning around and winning. But it's a comedy.
I never would have believed that would have happened that way.
It's a comedy. And again, we're talking about a movie that came out in 25. Made for nothing.
So the special effects were spectacular. A lot of CGI.
Yeah, tons of it, Chad.
I bet somebody got paid. You said it was made for nothing. You're a liar. You're a phony.
It made over $2.6 million in 1925.
Oh my! You know, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of
During the Depression,
1920. The Depression happened in the 30s.
Well, leading into the Depression, no.
I just got a week from Chad.
Let it go, Joe. No, I'm kidding.
Let the week go, or let the PhD Depression in 1925 go. Last time I heard, those were called the Roaring 20s.
That's true. That's true. It was roaring. Lots of noises, except for in silent film.
Of course, my mom didn't give $300 million for me to get a communications degree from USC. Look it up. It's that hooker from that one show. I don't know. It's an obscure joke.
Anyway,
I did find out that all she did was get a communications degree, and I thought to myself, with two of them,
you can find it.
A lot of wasted money there.
You can find it on Criterion. And by the way, going back to that, there was a lawsuit filed by Lloyd's granddaughter against the Walt Disney Company for The Waterboy.
Did she win?
No. They eventually said that basically 1925 is too long ago, and that's now a general concept. But
What's going to happen to Superman? We're keeping you up, old man Jennings.
I'm sorry.
So again, I wanted to bring that up though because I have been going back and watch silent films, and if you don't like silent films, I think you want it. Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin,
Harold Lloyd,
Laurel and Hardy. I mean,
Harold Lloyd is probably one of the distant fourth or fifths. Who is the one that no one remembers that they should? And I can't. Harold Lloyd's one.
Fatty Arbuckle.
Oddly enough, I think people remember, if they have any sense of history, the case more than they actually do as entertainment.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, there's a great study in the mistreatment of Fatty Arbuckle versus what happened with Errol Flynn.
Yeah.
Like, about how Errol Flynn could get away with anything, and Fatty Arbuckle got accused, and it was over.
Yeah. It was over, yeah. All right, so do you have your runner-up? You want to do that? What are we looking about on time? We doing all right?
We're doing okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna. This is not an honorable mention. This is just an obscure one that I wanted to bring up. That I'm not going to go into in depth about. Amazing Grace and Chuck.
I mean, I've heard of it. I don't actually think I've ever seen it.
I'm going to read a brief description of it, and then I'm going to. It's kind of a shocker when I looked it up as to who actually created the film. A Little League player named Chuck refuses to ever pitch again until nuclear weapons are disarmed. Basketball star Amazing Grace Smith follows the boy's example and starts a trend. Amazing Grace is played by Alex English, who was a forward or center for the Boston Celtics at that time.
Oh, that was the reason why you're a fan.
Yeah. I'm a huge Boston Celtics fan. It was directed by Mike Newell.
Oh, yeah.
That's Larry Bird's team, right?
Yes.
Mike Newell, no. Mike Newell is a British director. He gave us Donnie Brasco, the only Harry Potter film I like.
Yep. And then it was written...
How does he deal with Larry Bird?
And Prince of Persia, which is a huge piece of shit.
Oh, God. I forgot he did Prince of Persia. But no, so it's...
I don't know how he did Larry Bird. Probably in a goodly way.
Yeah, Amazing Grace and Chuck is just a really weird movie about nuclear dearmonization in the 1980s because of Reagan and the Cold War. But yeah, that was just an obscure one that I wanted to throw out there. Amazing Grace and Chuck.
Mine was not all that obscure, and I never actually had seen it till about 3 years ago. And oddly enough, a friend of ours, James, who went to work in Indiana, actually said, "Oh, that stupid bicycling movie. Have you guys ever seen Breaking Away?"
No. Is this Joseph Gordon-Levitt? No.
No, that's the bicycling and thing. No, that's the... Is Kevin Costner in that? Am I
No.
Okay, I'm thinking of another one.
Yeah.
But I've seen the box for Breaking Away 1,000 times. I know the cover art.
So it's about bicycling in Indiana, and
If they're never replaced the bicycle.
What's the name of the town where the college is at?
Indianapolis.
No, James.
Fort Wayne.
What now?
What's the town the big college is at? What's it called?
Notre Dame.
Where our friend works. Starts with an L. Our friend's name. I'm trying not to say Laura on the...
No, I'm trying to... But you've got me confused now, because I'll tell you where it's not. Terre Haute.
Yeah.
No,
Indiana State.
it's directed by Peter Yates, who directed Bullet, Mother Jugs and Speed, Kroll.
Oh, God.
It stars Dennis Christopher. A lot of people, you'll probably know Dennis Christopher, not necessarily from this, but from Django, Unchained, or actually he is also in It. He's the grown Eddie Casper. Dennis...
I to know that.
Daniel Stern, Dennis Quaid, Jackie Earle Haley, and the great character actor Paul Dooley. It's about bicycling in Indiana, and it's about working class kids who are graduating high school. Should they go to college? Because they're not really in college. They live in a college town, but they don't necessarily think that they can go to college because they're called cutters, right? A lot of them are masons, stone masons, things like that. It's Bloomington, Indiana. I couldn't remember. And one of them, played by Dennis Christopher, the older guy, they have this bicycling thing that happens every year, and he just idolizes the Italians who do it. It's a coming-of-age story. Why it still works 40 years on, or 30-some years on, I have no idea, but I watched it 3 years ago because I'd never seen it, and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And that's all it's about. Them coming to grips of, are they going to go here? What are they going to do? What is this like? And bicycling in Indiana. And that sounds boring as hell, but it's not. And I assure you, if you get a chance to watch Breaking Away, it is not that stupid bicycling movie. It's got something to it.
Yeah.
And it's fairly lighthearted. James.
So I want to say
your honorable mention?
I want to say really quickly, I would talk about the Rocky and Creed movies because those are my go-to sports movies.
Well, we have Rocky up here.
But as far as ones that I think people should watch that maybe they don't watch, Chariots of Fire.
Really? You know, I've actually only seen scenes.
Chariots of Fire is one of the best character studies of people's religions and their thoughts and what they...
It's Ben Cross, right?
What they do, yes. And it's based on actual people. Charles Liddell was
Oscar winner.
a devout... And it's one of the forgotten Oscar winners. People don't talk about Chariots of Fire anymore.
No, I agree.
Just like nobody talks about Titanic.
Charles Liddell...
Least of all, James Cameron.
I'm sorry, I said Charles. It's Eric.
Charles de Gaulle.
Eric Liddell was a devout Scottish Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about their running, and they meet in college, and there's one of them is Jewish, and all this stuff.
Oddly enough, we both talked about early 80s.
That's going to hurt the
coming
ears.
of age stories, yeah.
But they end up going. They make it to the 1924 Olympics, which is what it's based on. But the heats, the competition to see where you're going to start, are on a Sunday. And being a devout Catholic, Liddell says, "I'm not running on a Sunday. I don't bowl on Sabbath."
Bowl. I don't drive a car. Sorry.
And so the college masters, John Gielgud is in it. All of this stuff. But if you've never seen it, much like your film, people are like, "Oh, so they run." Yes, the athletics of it in the 1924 Olympics, and if you know anything about the history of what was going on in 1924, all of that
Great
stuff.
Depression.
I slip up one time. And I'll never live it down. Anyway, Jay Gatsby shows up and funds them, and they all go on.
And there's no
Shores beating oars to the shore and whatnot.
whores.
Oars like on a boat. Have you never read The Great Gatsby?
No.
It's boring.
Oh my God.
No, oh my God. I just finished listening to The Grapes of Wrath. Have you all ever read it?
Yes.
Oh,
Steinbeck. It was required reading in my high school. Some of us went to a high school where they allowed books.
well, some of us don't know shit. So God bless Onslow County High.
But yeah, they basically, and of course the villains in Chariots of Fire are villains in most films. I refer to, of course, Americans.
Well, yeah.
Because they're dismissed for being mixed.
Except
Because
it's Mighty Ducks 2, and it's Iceland.
Jews, and because they're Jews and Catholics, and they kind of get dismissed. But it's a film where the characters, like you said, for the other Chariots of Fire, the character study on it is fascinating, and it's a true story.
Yeah.
And so, if you like sports film and have never seen Chariots of Fire, plus if you like Blade Runner, the soundtrack.
Is Tangerine Dream do the soundtrack?
No, it's Vangelis. I just want to say
Vangelis?
Yeah, Vangelis.
Is it not Tangerine? Oh, okay. I totally screwed that up. Oh my God! I did my own 30s.
Yeah. Now you know.
Please.
Now you know what the Great Depression was
Only
like.
mine is slightly more obscure.
So,
I almost said subscure.
Oh, Ian Holmes also in.
Yes, Ian Holm.
John Gielgud, Ian Holm, Ben Cross.
Sir.
Great cast. Great
Gielgud.
cast.
So I'm just going to list my honorable mentions. A League of Their Own, of course. Cool Runnings.
No Cool Runnings.
Even though it's utter crap. It's
I
not
didn't see that until years later.
Oh, really?
No, and then I enjoyed it, but I had no desire to see it as
It's
a
an
kid.
enjoyable movie. None of it's true, except for there are certain parts of it.
There
where they
was a
took it
bobsled
There
team
was a
once.
bobsled team from Jamaica. That part they got right. Kingpin. Can't for
That's a good one.
And then I'm going to talk about another Kevin, because Kevin Costner, notorious sports movie.
Sports and westerns.
For Love of the Game.
Yeah, and it's a good Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah, and it's
a tad long.
Yeah, it's a tad long, but here's why it's a really good sports movie and Sam Raimi's artistic vision getting it captured when he's on the mound and going into the zone.
Yeah, I agree.
That is a beautiful sequence every time.
I agree.
So for Love of the Game.
All
How about
right.
Angels in the Outfield?
Oh man, I actually liked that movie when I was younger.
Actually, I own I bought it for my kids, but it came with Angels in the Infield with David Allen Greer, and I haven't watched that yet.
I actually got a tear in my eye at the reveal in that movie. So
Speaking of Daniel Stern, actually, I like Rookie of the Year better than Angels in the Outfield.
no, I like Angels in the Outfield.
How about Boston Pride? Is that the one with
Daniel Stern and Dan Aykroyd where they kidnap the Utah
David
Jazz?
Wayans.
It's not Boston Pride. It's Boston. What's
No,
it called?
it's Boston
Celtic Pride.
Celtic
Celtic
Pride.
Pride, I'm
And of course, the other Damon Wayans sport movie that came out that year, The Great White Hype. That's actually an entertaining
That
film.
is actually entertaining, and same one of Sam Jackson's.
nobody
lost
mentioned
performances.
nobody mentioned the Last Boy Scout either,
No.
I actually, you know what? We missed several on here.
or any racing films. Could have brought up Talladega Nights.
I
could've
actually
brought
have
up,
Talladega Nights on my honorable
What's the
mentions.
Rush? Could have brought up Rush.
Rush is actually Rush is the last good Ron Howard film.
Viva Las Vegas. Elvis is a racer.
That's true. We didn't bring up Hoosiers,
I was good.
and you know what? I really like Hoosiers.
We didn't bring up Death Race 2000 either.
Longest Yards kind of came up. Dodgeball,
Yeah.
Murder Ball.
No.
Murder Ball's good.
I
It's a
guess.
documentary.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, Murder Ball's good.
Oh, no,
I
no,
apologize.
Murder Ball actually is number 1 or 2 on almost all these lists.
I got completely confused
Murder
about
Ball and what's the basketball documentary?
Hoops.
Hoop Dreams.
Hoop Dreams.
Hoop Dreams and Murder Ball.
But
go
no,
back and
I
forth.
apologize.
We also didn't bring up one of the best films that takes place at an Angels baseball.
Moneyball.
Well, I was going to talk about the best.
And see, when you said Murder Ball, I thought Rollerball, so that's why I gave you that look.
We
I
left
apologize.
off one of the best films that takes place at an Angels baseball game.
What?
I think
Oh,
you
the
got
Naked Gun.
Yeah, you get the poster for it around here somewhere.
Naked Gun. Raging Bull.
Raging Bull.
Yeah.
Raging Bull. And Cobb, like I said, Cobb almost was the one I brought up.
Yeah.
The last one I want
Cobb, I
to
love that
mention
movie.
actually is we've brought up Kurt Russell more than once tonight is Miracle.
Miracle.
Kurt, another great. I think Kurt Russell may be one of the most underrated actors of the 20th century.
There's no question.
For the last 30 years, check out Miracle. It's based on a true story, and he is a hockey coach in the early 80s. Chad.
Yep.
Right.
There's two films we didn't bring up, though, that we need to bring up or we'll get hate mail.
What?
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Nah,
I don't care for it.
I don't either.
I don't have an
there's
attachment to it.
parts
It's a
of it-
well-made movie, but I don't have any
There's parts of
attachment
it I
to
love. James Earl Jones' speech about what used to matter and what doesn't now. That part of it actually does get to me.
I actually care about the movie that actually has about the Shoeless Joe Jackson in it, 8 Men Out.
8 Men Out,
Eight Men
which
Out.
is a John
Waters.
Shit.
Joe's having brain aneurysms.
Yes, sir. What's the other one?
Sandlot. But I also
I've
want
actually never seen this.
I know. I can't believe you've never seen The Sandlot.
Well, you've never brought it over.
I don't own it.
Well, there you go.
Actually, and speaking of Kurt Russell, we need
Benny
to bring
the
up,
Jet Rodriguez.
we
Joe.
need to bring up the team that Kurt Russell played for in the documentary they made about it.
the
Oh,
Great Bambino.
The Battered Bastards of Baseball.
Battered Bastard Space.
You've
That's
never
a really
seen
good documentary.
2014 documentary.
You're the one who told me to watch it.
It's a Portland minor league team.
Oh, I did see that. Sorry.
About his dad.
God, that's amazing.
That's a great documentary.
Yeah, it really is. I apologize. I forgot about it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, out of all
It's a documentary. It's
and
Kurt
it's on
Russell's in
Netflix. It won't cost you anything. Check that out. It's
Unless you don't own a
Oh.
subscription to Netflix. And
in which case it'll cost you an arm and a leg.
And I was preparing for this, and I know we're running out of time, but my wife made me say that I would do it. I asked for my wife, and she said, "Hey, just to make people mad, you should bring up both Air Bud and Bring It On as great sports films that people ignore."
I saw that.
Buddies.
I saw that written on your sheet, and I was getting ready to punch you.
It could have been worse. I was afraid she was going to make me talk about Bad as I Want to Be, the Dennis Rodman story.
Or Space Jam.
Oh.
We could have talked about Space Jam.
It's terrible.
I haven't seen it since it came out and didn't care for it.
Now,
I was-
it could have been worse. We could have went Juana Man.
Ooh, or no, that's actually we're rambling now. But The Sixth Man with Marlon Wayans and
You've actually seen it?
I've seen it. There are parts in it that are good.
I don't believe you.
There really are. There's Marlon Wayans actually has a dramatics part in that movie, and he did it really well. But it's not a good movie. Kadeem Hardison, thank you.
What happened to Kadeem Hardison?
I don't know.
That's the worst thing you can ever say to an actor.
Yeah, whatever.
The worst thing you can ever say. All right. So, anything else, gentlemen, for the love of the game?
No, I mean there's tons of sports films, and there's some
we could have actually done a two-parter.
I'm sure there's some that we could look at, and we could have broke it down. I mean, we could just do boxing films and do
football
Rocky and
baseball.
And, yeah, I mean,
actually, you could just do hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's just so many of this. So as you think about this, and as I'm sure The Quiet Man we missed, that's a boxing film. I mean,
I
there's just
forgot
so
another
many.
one of my favorite basketball films, actually, and it starring Nick Nolte, Blue Chips.
Blue Chips. Oh, I forgot Matilda. Have you seen Matilda? Matilda would be your type of film.
I've actually never seen Danny DeVito's Matilda.
It's not Danny DeVito's Matilda. I'm talking about the boxing movie Matilda.
Then no, I have no idea.
Elliot Gould, 1978, based on a novel.
And we didn't talk about The Wrestler.
I see the wrestler I had written down to bring up, and I
removed it from my
couldn't.
list, yeah. I thought one of you all would grab it.
But it's fake. It's not sports. No, just joking.
God, oh my
just
God.
joking.
Oh, that's
No,
great.
Matilda, you need to look up. Chad, you'd appreciate it. Have you heard of Matilda with Elliot Gould? It's made in 1978 to capitalize off of Rocky being a big hit. And it follows a
I may
guy
have heard of it, but I've never seen it.
that finds Matilda, who is a kangaroo that has been trained to box, and enters her into boxing competitions to beat up humans.
Okay, you've got me.
Starring Elliot Gould. Look it up.
I believe you. I've seen
It
Bob,
is-
Carol, Ted, and Alice.
It is just mwah.
Oh my God! Before we end, how could we have not have talked about the best racing movie of all time?
Cannonball Run.
No,
Teen Wolf.
no.
It doesn't have any
What?
racing. No,
Teen
but
Wolf 2 had a bunch.
Teen Wolf and Teen Wolf 2 both are
No,
sports films.
you're all wrong.
What?
Diggstown. I left out Diggstown.
We've already
How could I leave out Diggstown?
Because we talked about it on the same episode that we talked about that lost
Children of
treasure.
Men for 5
Children
times.
of Men.
No, I am talking about Hot to Trot.
Oh, that movie sucked.
Yeah, it totally does.
movie
$1 Million
sucked.
Baby was an Oscar winner we left out.
$1 Million Baby. We could
So
go
anyway,
on and on and on
we're
and on.
going
and
to
on.
wrap this up. So
We're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much. I forgot what I was going to say. It was going to be something about the sports. Anyway, we
watch them
Yeah. Tune in.
because the NFL is in desperate need of money.
I do want to say really quick that Any Given Sunday, we didn't talk about that one either, did we?
We didn't talk about probably one of the best known cheerleading films of all time,
Oh,
which
Jimmy.
we shouldn't talk about.
No, let's not talk about it.
Debbie Does Dallas?
No, yeah, no.
Okay.
I don't think I saw a lot of cheerleading in that.
According to this online list, it's officially considered a sports film.
Huh.
It is not one that the AFI has said is one of the good ones.
The next 2 or 3 episodes we have are going to be some interviews, a couple local, one not so local, and we're all excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
I do need you to do me a favor. We actually really did lose a YouTube viewer, and I have no idea why they left,
I
other than
assume
they
it
got
was
good
me.
common sense. So
It was me.
we need you to subscribe on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify. By the way, Spotify, I don't know why we add it because you guys don't use it for some reason. SoundCloud, you use like an MFer. YouTube comes in second. We actually have a hard time finding out what our iTunes downloads
Yeah.
are. But that being said, share us on your social media. Let us know if you have comments. Email us. Talk to us.
If you happen to be famous and want to appear on the show, that's
If you happen
cool.
not to be famous and want to appear on the show and pay us money, love to have you. So, anything else, gentlemen?
Nope.
All right, that's Bonehead.
Oh, we forgot about the air up there, gentlemen.
No,
Air up there, Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon can suck it.